All right, good morning. We are here in the Yosemite backcountry. We put in up at Tuolumne Meadows. We're hiking down to do Half Dome and exit the valley, and we're here at Fogelzang Lake. And I thought I would share about how I do my pooping in the backcountry. There's already videos on the internet about this, but maybe you haven't found them yet, and so this is your lucky day. Or maybe it's disgusting to you and you're never going to go into the backcountry. You can just go watch a different video. Anyway, so here's kind of the minimalistic backpacker's arsenal for using the bathroom. So the first thing is, I don't bring a trowel or a shovel. I use a trekking pole if the ground is hard, and I use a rock to get the bulk of the earth out of the hole. If you have time and you have time to plan, if you find the right terrain, like often at the base of like a big tree, you can come across what I think they call duff, and it's just super loose earth. It's almost like potting soil, and you can just use the back of your heel. Andrew Skirka taught me that. You can just use the back of your heel and you can make a massive hole, plenty big enough to do your business. So yeah, so you don't need a trowel, in my opinion, at least for the terrain that I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and out here in California, and where we were in Alaska, and I don't know where else. Maybe you do. So you dig yourself a proper hole, cat hole. The deeper the better. 6 to 9 inches is what they tell you. And yeah, then you squat and you do your business. And when you're done, of course you could wipe with toilet paper. There's a few issues with that. The first is it's one more thing to carry into the backcountry. So that means it's taking up weight, it's taking up space. It's one more item to organize, which can become a bit of a hassle of always moving things around from bag to bag and finding it. Then there's also the question of, did I bring enough? Did I bring too much? Am I gonna go home with half a roll? Am I gonna run out when I'm out here? And that can just add to some anxiety, just like running out of water. The other problem with toilet paper, if you're going to do a bunch of days in the backcountry, is you will find that just wiping your butt with something dry will lead to irritation down there, a rash or whatever. Obviously, it's probably what you use at home, but you also take a shower every day and you clean up on the backside, and so you don't notice it. But in the backcountry, repetitive days, you will have issues. And then the other thing that a lot of people would care about is leaving behind toilet paper in the earth. I'm not really super well versed on all of that, and in my opinion, pouring 1 billion tons worth of asphalt in a national park does more damage to the environment than a backpacker leaving some teepee. But whatever, that's another advantage. So I use what's called a bidet, just like you may have heard of from France, and it looks like this. It's this little yellow thing. It weighs 4 grams, and it basically just has 4 little holes in it. And you can put this into a smart water bottle. You can put it into the Evernew and Platypus water bags that we use. And you fill it up with water, filtered or not, it's your choice. Choose your own adventure. And then when you flip it upside down and you squirt, you get 4 little relatively high pressure streams. So it's probably obvious what you do, but you basically put that behind your backside and squeeze and flush the area as good as you can. Now you could save the cost and weight of this item and just use a water bottle, but you tend to get way too much water, and so you drain your water bottle super fast, and sometimes water is an issue. You don't want to just be running through water super fast. The other thing is you kind of want the high pressure, low volume to clear the area versus just dumping, a liter of water. And then the other thing, and I think this is a minimal deal, but not everyone wants to be drinking from the spout that was by your butt. In this case, you take it off. And you can even bring a dedicated bottle if that grosses you out, drinking out of this bottle later, or you can wash it. I can say personally, I've not really seen any evidence of backsplash getting on the bottle. You like that word I just made up, Michelle? But I didn't pull out the black light to prove it. So anyhow, okay, so the next thing is spraying probably won't be enough to totally clear the area. So there's kind of 2 options, and I've used both, and I think they kind of have their pros and cons, and I would say maybe just work up to what you feel comfortable. So the first thing is to use half of a blue shop paper towel, and I don't have any handy, sorry about that, But if you go to Gossamer Gear's website, they actually show you how to use it. And so basically, I'll just sort of explain it. So you basically have a shop towel, just a half of one like that. So you fold it in half, so now you have a section like that. So you take that section and you wipe, then you fold it over on itself so that what you've wiped is now inside. Then you wipe again, then you fold that in half like that. So now it's like that. Then you wipe, then you fold and wipe. So you get 4 wipes out of one paper towel, one half of a paper towel. And the blue paper towels tend to work a lot better than toilet paper or normal paper towels. They don't tear as much. And so that's one variant. The other thing you can do is that same thing, but then you can wet the paper towel on stage 3 or 4. And that tends to clean things up pretty good. So I've done that for a long time, and I think that works really good. And for those who are about to be disgusted by what I'm going to suggest next, which people do, I know people who do this. I know about 1.4 Indians who do it. I was in India, and this is what pretty much they all do. So basically, as you are, you do this to get the bulk of the debris off your butt, and then at the end you use a finger or two and you sort of scrub the area, which may be what you do every day in the shower anyway. And the main difference is that the volume of water in your shower is higher than this, and so this feels kind of gross when you do it for the first time, but in reality it's not super different. The other thing that I carry with me is a little bottle of Dr. Bronner's. This is a relatively big bottle. Normally I'll just carry like 5 or 10 milliliters. I brush my teeth with 1 drop of this every morning, also back home. And you can wash your face with this, you can wash your body with this, you can wash dishes with this. And so you can also use a little bit of this on your backside to clean up if you need to feel fresh over several days in the backcountry. Or if you just prefer that every day, whatever. And then regardless of what method you've chosen up until this point, at this point, you'll want to wash your hands thoroughly, and I use Dr. Bronner's for that as well. And then, you know, it's kind of hard to wash your hands with one hand. So one thing you can do, I saw this somewhere on YouTube, I don't remember where, is you just kind of put that between your legs and you squeeze. And I don't know, can you see that there's like a jet of water coming out? Anyway, there's a jet of water coming out. So that's kind of the backcountry sink, if you will. And you can scrub your hands and clean them super good. And yeah, so I will say that when I first heard about this, saw this, I saw it from Andrew Skirka. It's called the Backcountry Bidet. Then this guy is called the Backpackers Bidet. You can find him on the internet. These are relatively expensive because of supply and demand. It's a low volume thing. It was like 12 bucks, I think. But it does really help a lot. And the one thing that it does is it conserves water. So you're not just rushing through water. Now, if you have a lake behind you and you have, you know, a gallon of water you want to drop down your backside, then maybe you don't want this. And you could survive without it for sure. But it is worth it, I think. And if you're using this method and no toilet paper, then you're bringing that. Basically, this is the only thing you're bringing into the backcountry in order to poop. Because you already have your trekking pole, you already have soap, you already have a water bottle, so on and so forth. So that's 4 grams, 12 bucks to never use toilet paper again in the backcountry is pretty useful. Yeah, originally when I heard about it, I kind of thought it was gross and weird. And then I more or less experimented with it, got used to it. I realized that like wetting toilet paper and wiping, you get way more off your backside. And I realized how important it was to use something that's wet. An analogy I heard was, you know, if you're walking down the road and a bird poops on your arm, you don't just wipe it with paper towel, you know, you wipe it with a wet washcloth. And so the idea of using moisture of some kind is kind of obvious. Then I went on a mission trip to India, and we had to get ready to do this kind of thing anyway. So then it was like, well, might as well get used to doing it in the backcountry. And so I bought one of these, and this just sits next to my toilet at the house. And I just practiced with this for a while, you know, to make sure that I was comfortable with the whole process before I came out here and did it in the backcountry without a sink and without a shower and all the soap and all of that. And so it just became kind of second nature. So anyway, you're 9 minutes into a poop video. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I figured it was just helpful to be candid and honest and, you know, not use a bunch of fake code words to make everybody feel even more uncomfortable. Anyway, it's something we all do, and it's something you gotta do out here. And if you do more than an overnight backpack, you're gonna be doing it in the woods. So you might as well find the best way to do it. Anyhow, that's it. If you didn't like this, let me know by giving me a big thumbs down and maybe like a poop emoji in the comments or something like that. I won't make anything more like this again. But if you did like it, then go learn more at Andrew Skirka's website, andrewskirka.com. I've learned a ton from him, including a lot of this. And maybe go check out these guys, Backpackers Bidet, and give them some of your business. Anyway, take care.